Alrighty. Today we've got Rising Sun and Cornucopia Guilds. The landscapes are Harsh Winter and Foresight. Looks like Harsh Winter is activated by Poet and River Shrine here. Also Rustic Village. So after any of those cards combined have been played 5 total times, Harsh Winter is active for the rest of the game. Tends to put a bit of a damper on bigger engines that expect to gain more cards in total, but I don't think it hoses them nearly so badly as Bureaucracy, for example, because it makes you gain a copper every time you gain something. What else is happening? For draw, there's Journeyman. Poet can be draw, although there's not that many 3-cost cards here. We draw Aristocrats and Silvers. Uh, Aristocrat itself is occasionally draw, the 2nd and 6th copy are. And then you always got to consider Footpad's bottom text effect. Footpad itself is not a draw card, but it can turn other things into draw. Here, Footpad would buff Goldmine. You could draw an extra card if you choose to gain a gold. And change. I think that's it. Trashing, change, and River Shrine should do the trick. And plus buy Merchant Guild, Aristocrat, Goldmine, plus change and Goldmine game things. All right. So what are we doing here? I don't really have very specific thoughts about this game. It looks like everything is potentially somewhat relevant. I could see any card that's keen on getting gained in the right context. The draw is all right. You got 2 stacks of villages plus a journeyman. Looks like the main draw here. Uh, Maybe you add aristocrats if you're hitting 3 a bunch. Uh, there's not an overabundance of draw, so the attack could matter. I could see playing with a Footpad. What's the best payload here? Golds from Goldmine. Is it just playing a bunch of merchant guilds? Merchant guilds hurt a little bit, I think, by Harsh Winter. Like, normally, if you get 3 or 4 merchant guilds in play, you often want to buy, like, just spend all your buys, maybe even buy a copper or two, because each of the coppers are coming with like 4 coffers back. But here, that also comes with a bunch of extra debt. I don't know. Just play it by ear. For the opening, I would think River Shrine looks better than Change to me early on. There are plenty of 5s that I want, but I don't think I'm desperate to get to them immediately. The 4s look decent as well, so I don't mind the card that guaranteed trashes 2 and gains a 4-cost card, which is the card that trashes 1 and gains a more expensive card but comes with debt. So I'm thinking turn 1 River Shrine, turn 2 Foresight, just to make sure I draw said River Shrine. Um, there's even a 1 in 6 chance that I trigger a Fortunate Shuffle. Yeah, I think I like River Shrine, Foresight. Oh, River Shrine Silver would also be fine. But then you have Sunrisk that are bottom decks. Um, Whereas this guarantees I find it immediately. And then I can play it. And oh, maybe I can't do the thing I was about to say. I was gonna say I could just click Foresight again. Uh, to draw whatever River Shrine gains. But it doesn't actually gain the 4-cost card until cleanup. So if I buy Foresight now, this triggers immediately, and I won't find that card because I haven't gained it yet. The answer could still be Foresight, though. I wouldn't successfully reveal any action cards or put anything into my hand, but it would just skip through these bottom 5 cards and clean up my shuffle. Bottom 5 are 2 estates and 3 coppers. Yeah, I think I'd rather just not have that turn come up. And I will gain what? Poet's going to be the best card for the next few turns. My deck is mostly junk, and it's likely to be effectively laboratory. I don't plan on having very many 3 costs in it long term. I think I'd rather a Plaza. Gonna want the village effect soon, and that's a card I'd be happy to line up with River Shrine and discard 1 copper, gain a coffer off of it, and then just do the River Shrine trash. How's the next? Unfortunate draw. Don't love this hand. Bottom deck to all the things that matter, and hit 3. Uh, don't really need to click Foresight here. It's gonna be a silver. Is Aristocrat good? I wouldn't mind having 3 to 4 Aristocrats in the deck. If you play all of them, you're getting some amount of bonus of various things that you want. There's a danger if you take one and don't plan to get more than one in the near future. The first one's usually pretty bad. Like, I don't need a million actions right now. I've already got a plaza, I only have one terminal. And so I wouldn't want to add this unless I plan to get a second one and expect to collide them and get like the +3 cards. And I think usually the +3 cards is the main effect you want. And if you want that, you probably want at least 3 of them, just because you're really likely to find at least 2 if you have 3 in your deck. Um, I don't know if I'm likely to get 3. I'm just gonna take a silver. I think it's the more reliably okay card here. Do I play this Plaza? Probably not, right? Those 6 cards are terrible. If I play the Plaza, I'll top deck a hand that could very easily be state to state for copper silver. Hits 4, doesn't do anything good. The upside of getting a copper doesn't seem especially worth it to me. I'd rather just trash, pass up on the copper, and buys. Actually, let me reconsider this. Supposing I play Plaza, crash, copper, and whatever I draw, and then click Foresight. That clears out my shuffle, which is kind of effectively what I was trying to do anyway, which is not create the shuffle. The upside is there's a 1 in 3 chance to draw an estate. And if I could trash copper estate and buy Foresight, I'd prefer that over trashing 2 coppers. The downside is there's a 1 in 6 chance I draw silver, which is slightly more awkward, right? No, not even. Yeah, there's no downside to this. I should do it this way. I won't get the copper, because I need to spin both. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference. I could discard the copper, but I'd spin the copper immediately anyway. But this is just effectively the exact same thing I was going to do anyway. But I got a 1/3 chance to trash an estate, and I succeeded in doing so. And what now? I kind of want a journeyman in the near future. Should I plan to acquire that via change? If I managed to draw Plaza River Shrine and change, I'd be very happy camper. Uh, get a journeyman and also gain a nice thing. My deck is thin enough, but I'll take that gamble. Okay, this draw is totally fine as well. Here, I think I actually will trash the coppers of the estates because they've got a change left, and wouldn't mind change trashing that last estate. And I shall gain just one more plaza, probably. Pad has attacked me. Journeyman now. Oh, right. I forgot about this one card effect there. Somehow the bot managed to fail to find its footpad, and for that I am grateful. Can I please find my journeyman? No, I cannot. Uh, hmm. The top deck is journeyman, and I think it's silver. Oh wait, no, there's still a chance here. No, there isn't. I was gonna say I can play the change and draw one extra card, but I have 3 debt and only 2 coffers. I would have to pay off all the debt before I could use change's remodel effect. I just can't afford to do that right now. So if I play this change, I'm for sure getting the 3 money effect. And then I guess I just trash both of these. I wanted to trash the estate with the change, but not enough to keep it around another turn. And buys just one more plaza. I'm now super thin. I think there's one more plaza. Okay. So here, I play this plaza, uh, draw the silver, then change can turn maybe the silver into a footpad, play the footpad, play the river shrine, clear up the copper. I think that sounds good, in which case I wouldn't want to discard anything with the plazas. Harsh Winter is now active, so debt is starting to appear on the piles. Get in and attack. Trash a card. And what do I want to gain? Uh, Next thing on the docket is, I'm not sure. At some point, I think I want to change the River Shrine. Once I'm buying things, River Shrine's not going to be useful anymore because I have nothing left to trash and I won't game anything. So changing River Shrine into a 5-cost card looks pretty good. I could keep it around for another turn or two, though. For example, if I'm doing all my important gains in the action phase off of change or what have you, then just playing River Shrine at end of turn to get a free 4-cost is not a bad deal. So if I might do a turn that looks kind of like this for another turn or two. Uh, I'm probably going to want a second Journeyman at some point. Well, I don't need it too badly right now. My deck is really thin. Um, I'm going to want Goldmine and or Merchant Guild soon. On average, I would think Merchant Guild's probably better than Goldmine, especially with Abundant Villages. Footpad pushes a little bit in the direction of Goldmine, and Parched Winter pushes a little bit against Merchant Guild, so I'm not actually sure of that. In the short term, Goldmine looks better because for the moment I don't plan on gaining a bunch of cards in the buy phase. Uh, this could just be another silver. I've got Overdraw from my Journeyman plus a lack of other stop cards. Having a treasure in the deck is nice because I can discard stuff to Plaza and redraw it and get a little extra money out of that. I might be regaining my silver here. I'm just going to do that for lack of a clear alternative. Last card is a silver. If I discard this, I can draw everything. Doesn't matter what I name, as long as I don't name any of those three. Okay, so yeah, I'll play the footpad. I could once again change the silver into something I value. I have 2 debt, but I could pay off the debt using the coffers. It used to be you could only spend coffers in your buy phase before buying things, but now you can spend them whenever. Uh, so so first, if I choose not to pay off debt, I'll get 3 coins here. I could play River Shrine. I could either buy something with my money or just gain a 4. That feels a little bit redundant. I change the silver into something. It can't be another terminal action card. I won't have enough actions to play change River Shrine and the third thing. I could maybe change silver into a gold mine, gain a gold this turn, draw it, and put the gold toward paying off debt and still gain a 4. I think I like that play. The +1 card resolves before the gain a gold effect, so gold mine couldn't normally draw its own gold, but here the footpad effect will draw the gold for me if I choose to gain a gold. And I think gold mine's a lot better. I mean, sometimes you just get it for the +5 effect. You don't even need to plan to gain the gold, but choosing to gain gold off of gold mine is a lot better if you can draw and play the gold the same turn. Because then it's basically like you got a gold for 1 debt instead of 4 debt. Ah, hmm. I kind of want a village here, so maybe it's just aristocrat actually. I mean, I could take one of either of these. I don't want to get stuck in a cycle of I take the card for functionally 6, taking the debt off of it, and the bot gains another one, puts the debt back on it. So I would like, for example, if I could take 2 plazas on a turn. I'm happy to pay 10 for 2 plazas. But that means I take the tokens off and then I reapply the tokens, and then the bot is stuck in the same dilemma as me. Aristocrat, I think, is for sure worse than either of these other two. But I think I'm going to take it because it puts debt on a pile rather than taking debt off. I've been attacked. I think I'm going to discard the Aristocrat here. I just want to make absolutely sure I draw things. Like, what if the Journeyman's on the bottom? And in this kingdom, all 3 of these other ones can draw cards as needed. Am I planning to gain a gold this turn? On the one hand, yeah, I don't mind prolonging the phase in which I am just gaining things in the action phase and getting some value out of that River Shrine. I plan to trash it eventually, but I'm not in a rush to do that. On the other hand, I probably want a second Journeyman, and there's just no easy way to get a second Journeyman into my deck while I'm trapped in debt. Normally, I could just use the remodel to gain a Journeyman, even if I couldn't buy one. But this particular remodel doesn't work when you're in debt. So I need to have a plan to get out of debt eventually. I do need to play that. I meant to right click it. I need to have a plan to get out of debt eventually to get another Journeyman. Because I'm going to need more draw soon here. I think I can justify one more gold, though, for the time being. It's funny. Lets me name Harsh Winter. And I don't think I'm gaining anything with change here. So I won't discard because I'm not going to redraw it. Okay. So I've paid off the debt. I'm just going to pass here, gain a card. I think next turn I'll probably take another Journeyman. The River Shrine maybe can die at that point. We'll see. Uh, Still don't love taking any of the cards with debt on them. I could use a second Aristocrat. I sure wouldn't mind that in my deck. That's actually not a terrible option. Could it be a Poet? Although there's one total card in my deck you can draw. I don't hate having the Poet. It doesn't hurt my deck at all. Maybe it becomes a target for change or something later. So I think it's either Aristocrat or Poet. I'll just take the Poet. Okay, so the bot does not have a fully functional deck over there, but is already provincing. It is a kingdom with coffers. The bot, I think, is pretty good at using coffers effectively in big money strategies, just to keep hitting exactly 8 consistently and just barely get across the finish line. It likes to play not footman, footpad big money a lot. And so I think that's probably roughly what it's doing over there. I mean, it's got some actions in villages. I think its plan is probably just single province for a while, if I had to guess. It does have A plus buy card, so it's threatening to do more than that. But its deck doesn't seem really together enough to do more than that. Actually, maybe I'm underselling it. It does have like 3 journeymen and a decent number of villages. That's probably more of an engine than I'm letting on. Um, that was just maybe an uncharacteristically weak turn. For Shrine. Could draw the Aristocrat here, 1 in 3 chance. Wow, look at that. Poet is such an amazing card. I never doubted you, Poet. Okay. So now I've got more draw than I need. River Shrine should probably get trashed here. Do I want a third gold? Not necessarily. Uh, and maybe at some point, but I don't need to draw this turn. I'm thinking about changing River Shrine into a merchant guild. Unfortunately, it comes with some debt, but I could buy a second merchant guild if needed. I do want to get. There's a bunch of stuff I want to get, but it's all got debt on it, and there's not too many things I really want 2 more copies of right now. Because maybe in place of a second journeyman, I get a second aristocrat, maybe even a third aristocrat. Those are cards. I mean, the second aristocrat is basically a journeyman anyway. Uh, and it's a card that I don't mind the bot having access to because the bot's first aristocrat isn't too important. Hmm. Bot also has I think, a less fully together deck that doesn't benefit quite as much from aristocrat because you don't want to draw just one. So what if I gain a river shrine? Sorry, not that. What if I trash a river shrine, gain a merchant guild? I take some debt. I play the merchant guild. I buy like a second merchant guild and 2 aristocrats. Can I afford all that? Probably not. Uh, I think I'm committed to taking a merchant guild here, though. That seems correct. This is also the wrong order. I should play the Plaza first and rediscard. Actually, maybe the order doesn't matter very much. Yeah, so would I take a gold for +1 debt here? I think no. If I want more golds, I can gain them next turn. And I kind of want as much money as I can have this turn to buy all the things I want. And I also don't want to have to add a bunch of draw to support the extra gold. So I've got plenty of actions, it seems like. So I think I like Merchant Guild and Aristocrat, pay off 2 debt, and I'm now exactly breaking even on the actions front because I've added 2 extra terminal action cards. So if I click a third Aristocrat here, I can't necessarily play it. I'd have to change something into a village. But change, actually kind of annoyingly, can only turn a card into a more expensive card. And that constraint matters surprisingly often. Like I would happily change a poet into a plaza, or even a gold into a plaza here, just to get another village into my deck. But that would not be a legal play. The only thing I could turn into a plaza would be another aristocrat. So, 1 second. For some minor canine-induced delays, I am back. And if I had an opinion on what to buy here, I've forgotten what it was. But all things being equal, I'd prefer to buy something. 1 copper is not a big deal. I could just click Foresight. Uh, Foresight wouldn't come with a copper because you're not gaining a thing in your buy phase, but that's not like with 1 merchant guild, that's not so impactful. Hmm. I mean, maybe that's what I'm doing. Nothing else is jumping out to me super much. But I want to spend 2 coffers. Well, the bot's playing a journeyman fairly consistent. Not a journeyman. The bot's playing a footpad fairly consistently. Foresight gives you a 6 card hand, but I discarded a 3 anyway. I could just pass the turn, not buy anything on the last buy. I don't want to River Shrine. I don't want to change. I don't hate buying a village. I'd rather buy them 2 at a time. Already got 2 aristocrats. I could take 3. I can't. The big problem with taking a third aristocrat is I can't play it. I don't have a way to mid-turn gain an extra village, and I do want to play every terminal action card in my deck. So I'm just gonna pass. Okay, not entirely clear what I discard here. Probably I keep Plaza and Journeyman. Goldmine can be a lab. Probably want to discard the Poet. I wouldn't mind discarding Aristocrat because the first one is just +3 actions. But then if I draw into the second one, having not found the first one, I don't want the now second one to be in my discard. So probably I keep Aristocrat and play it this way. I'll name gold. Unfortunately, did not manage to skip any golds. I think Merchant Guild would be another reasonable card to name, given that I've got 2 copies of each, I believe. Oh, if I dud here, I'm gonna be really sad. Oh no. Shoot, that's not good. That's very bad. Okay, that is an absolutely terrible draw. Um, my starting hand was just too good and got absolutely nuked by that footpad. And then I clearly chose the wrong card for Journeyman. Um, and 50-50 between Merchant Guild and Gold, and I chose wrong. Yeah, didn't find the second aristocrat. So that's no good. That's no good at all. Um, I want 2 villages here. I think Rustic Village has got to be better than Plaza now. Probably neither effect is super relevant at this point. The Plaza, I'm getting plenty of coffers on Merchant Guild anyway. But I think there's conceivable hands where Rustic Village could save a turn, paying off the debt. And I have 1 more buy. I'll take an aristocrat here. Okay. I want another gold. I don't mind the. Hmm. So obviously I gotta play Poet or Goldmine at some point. I could change the Poet if I'm done with it. Get another Journeyman into my deck. Uh, yeah, I mean the Poet can hit any of the three aristocrats, although the odds of that aren't terribly high. I don't mind trashing it. Uh, if I play Goldmine and gain a gold, I'll be in debt, and then I can play the chain for +3 coins, which might at this stage of the game be a bit more valuable to me than the remodel effect. I don't have any cards that super want to remodel this turn. In a turn or two, changing gold into province will be a good play. I think I just like getting another gold and then playing the chain for money. Not sure about that. Okay, let's name Merchant Guild this time and draw everything. Um, hmm. So I think I'm just gonna play change and not pay off the debt, and then I just get the coins. I have one extra draw, so I can afford to discard one gold and redraw it. Footpad, Merchant Guilds. Pay off on my debt. Uh, and ignoring the debt, I think my natural choice of buys would be like two more villages, another journeyman, and another merchant guild. But with Harsh Winter, it does pay to gain things in copies of two. And the bot's fully in the gleaning phase. Maybe I don't have to care about any of this. Like if I leave no debt on journeyman or merchant guild, maybe it just doesn't buy another one because it already wants to buy provinces. That might not be a big deal. Uh, hmm, I don't think it can be two plazas and two merchant guilds. My deck can't support that. Could be two plazas and two journeymen. Then my deck has. Yeah, I'm gonna do two plazas and two journeymen. And then next turn I could change the poet into a third merchant guild and gain that mid-turn. I think that sounds better to me. How much debt to pay off? Yes to two debt. One more plaza. One more journeyman. I don't like that it defaults to not paying off the debt in these circumstances. We have coffers left, but no money. It's easy to accidentally pass your turn there if you're not being careful. Okay, not a great starting hand. Bot buys a province and a copper. The first copper is free. Future coppers will not be. Could I please not dud a second time? Okay, I've already discarded a bunch of gold, so probably Merchant Guild's the best card to name here. It's a card I don't want to draw early on in my turn. Playing the Plaza first because if I play this Rustic Village and haven't found a draw card yet, I'll probably just pitch two to draw one and continue the turn. I don't think I'm desperate enough yet. But there's like two more Journeymen down there. If I draw into a stop card, I can get one more card worth of draw by changing something. Like a Desperation change. Alright, we found all the cards we need. I think I have Overdraw here. Let me see. So I've got 9 cards down there. I'll draw 3 off of Aristocrat, 3 off of Journeyman, 3 off of Journeyman, 1 off of Change. Are there any more cantrips down there? I honestly don't remember how many villages I have. There's at least a gold mine. Yeah, I think I can safely do that and draw everything. So I'm unsure at, 1 copper is not that big of a deal. I'm pretty sure I can draw everything. Yeah. I'll name Foresight. Okay, so change the poet into a merchant guild. Play aristocrat. Do I want a gold? Definitely not at this stage. It's -1 coin this turn, and I think on future turns Okay. There won't be that many, but Merchant Guild is probably going to be the better payload here anyway. High buys. So probably some more villages and some more journeymen, I would think. Debt. Pay off the debt. No, I don't have to. I do not take debt. Um, journeyman. Journeyman. I'm actually just kind of spending all my money here, aren't I? Hmm. Could buy an estate, actually. It costs me 2, but I get 3 coppers back. And that's a card I could change into something else as needed next turn. If I don't have a card I want to change, I can always just play the change for 3 coins, and that's fine. This makes me 1 money immediately and can become another merchant guild. I think I'm going to buy an estate. Buying Foresight would also not be terrible. Not because I need the extra card in hand, but triggering a shuffle that's just got villages and draw cards in it is obviously good. I think Pass, Estate, and Foresight all look like reasonable choices here. I like buying an estate. Okay, Bot has a bit of a dud. Main merchant guilds. I'm for sure drawing the deck here. No questions there. Playing with the aristocrat. Now, probably have enough draw actually here to make a bunch of money off of these plazas, where a bunch is like 1 coin each. Plazas are basically just converting 1 extra card worth of draw into 1 extra coin, which is not a big deal. It's not something you want to intentionally do, but it's a nice way to make money out of draw that was going to happen anyway. Yeah, I'm overdrawing here for sure. Just discard a bunch of times. Okay, so yeah, I think it's got to be a state into merchant guild, right? That seems clear enough. Can I support that? If I play this plaza, I'll have 7 total actions. Bottom card is a gold. Have 1, 2, 3 terminals, 4, 5, 6. I want to play. Uh, yeah, this is fine. I don't have to play the last journeyman. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay, so I got 21 coffers here. 4 merchant guilds in play. If I buy 6 things, I'm getting like um 24 money back on coffers. Plus, I'm making like 13-ish per turn. So I don't think I'll be quite in 5 province range, but maybe in 4 province range. You gotta account for the additional debt you'll take. I don't know if I'm trying to win next turn. I can also change a gold into a province next turn. Uh, why does the bot have 21 points? Oh, the bot just hasn't trashed any estates. That's bizarre. The trashing here is good. I don't understand that. Um, so the bot takes 1 more province. 4 provinces is not a win. Um, so probably I'm not trying to win next turn, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Uh, maybe with the right buys here, I can get myself up to enough money to do 5 provinces. Like if instead of spending most of these coppers on additional cards of value, I just quick copper a bunch. I would get a bunch of coppers and not lose these coppers, and I'd be up to like 40 something. Alternatively, I could add like another change, and I could change multiple golds in the provinces. Could be a play. Um, hmm, I was overdrawing here. Is it unreasonable to just buy like change in 2 coppers and some other cheap stuff and go for the win next turn? I'm not really on the clock here. Like the bot's buying a province per turn, so that's not super scary. I don't need to try to win next turn if I don't want to. Hmm. The safer thing to do is to buy like more plausible than Journeyman or something. I am overdrawing here already, right? I'm probably safe. How much junk man? I discarded like 3 golds to Plaza. So that like that's plus 3 extra cards to draw, plus a Journeyman I didn't play. I think maybe I just had like 2 villages and a change and some coppers. I'm lowering piles, but the bot has like 2 total buys in its entire deck. So I don't think that's a threat. I'm gonna buy 2 plazas. Maybe Foresight, top decking the plazas, and then change double copper. I don't know. I'm not at all confident in these buys, but I'm going to make them. Could be double curse. We could accomplish something fairly similar. We have two. Just bought a copper for 2 debt. This is a pretty good hand. I think I'd rather pitch Plaza double merchant guild if I get hit. There's more total villages I can draw into between the rustic villages and the plazas and the aristocrats. Yeah, so this is fine. I already pitched 2 merchant guilds, so probably the best thing to name here is gold. And of course, I see a merchant guild anyway. Oh, I better not do it. I would be so sad. Stress again. Man, gold. Yep, I thought I clicked okay. At some point, I'm going to skip past some golds. Eventually. I'm gonna hold off on this rustic village. I might need to resolve that to avoid a dud. I don't like these draws very much. Fortunately, this aristocrat is just the village one. Um, and the change is also 1 card of draw. I should probably still be fine here. I could trash a gold into a province and draw a card off of that using the footpad effect. There we go. Okay, now it's smooth sailing here for the rest of the turn. What just happened? Oh, I thought I clicked the journeyman. I must have clicked the footpad. That's fine. That's not a big deal. That could be a minor nuisance in certain circumstances, but I don't think it matters here. Ah, yeah, this has to be a win, right? Put it into a province. I'm not even gonna count it. Pay off the debt. Hold in the province. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay off the debt. Gotta be careful here because it will. If you have coffers and you have debt, it will naturally just end your turn uh, instead of prompting you to like here. If I just clicked OK without paying off this debt, my turn would immediately end, and that would be very bad. Um, yeah, I just think this is totally wrong. Like it was Engine E. You got some villages, you got some draw, you got a little bit in the way of payload, but there's good trashing here. I think change, even if not rustic, even if Riverside weren't around, adding a change and just killing these estates, I think would be a big improvement on this deck. But Riverside I thought looked quite good here. Cleared a bunch of junk early. I don't. The bot had an ephemeral points lead with some provinces, but like it wasn't threatening in the game anytime soon. Even if I had to take another turn, the bot got to like 5 provinces. I think it would not be hard to come back on provinces and duchies. I think this is just underbuilding in this kingdom, even with Harsh Winter. Like Harsh Winter was a mild nuisance. I really don't think it's enough to take the wind out of the sails of the bigger deck.